Okay, I think we're recording. I needed to stop being so lazy and, get this done a little bit. But here we are. Welcome to the
master of the story.
first video preview of Sigvald Simply Superior.
Bring ruin.
So we'll start here on the faction effects screen. I think I've changed some of this. We've got some extra active glyphs of Slaanesh. Very useful. And a lot of the normal ones. And, yeah, we've got some cool bursts for everybody. I think this already says this. Maybe I can change this text to mention my new units. But, I guess I haven't done that yet. No script, by the way, which is why I'm just fumbling around. And I've edited out the loading screen to respect your time.
You may have heard of me. I am Sigvald the Magnificent, the Girl Prince of Slaanesh.
And there we go. Fully compatible with the main mod of Alariel's Temptation Bloom, if you happen to be running that. Of course, this is for adults only. Do not go and search for this mod if you're under 18. So we'll start off with a little preview of what we've done for Sigvald here. We actually start off with his quest tab and look at his item over here. So Silver Slash still has, Slither Slash. It has all of its normal effects, but in addition, it has the Dark Prince's Executioner and the Attribute Executioner, which you may recognize from the Jade Dragon. We go over to his skill tree. There's a lot of new stuff over here to go through. So I've set them at the moment to just unlock on level 1. It won't be like that once the game launches, but this is better for demo purposes. I think we'll actually start off up here with Nostalgia. This is how we used to do it. Grants Norscan Raid for Undivided as Slaanesh Marauder units. So this is a throwback to Warhammer 2, where you used to get this exact effect when you're, playing as the Warriors of Chaos to improve your Norscan units. Very nice. I have a mount here, which is the Griffin that I demonstrated before on my text channel on the Discord. Suffering, yours, not his. Suffering was found by Sigvald on the battlefield, impressed with how she was eating her half-alive rider, and came over immediately when called. After all, why shouldn't she? Everything that didn't obey Sigvald was not worthy of life after all. So at the moment I've set it to unlock at level 2. Again, just as a demonstration, and you get Sigvald on a Griffin. It does come with a bit of a bug at the moment where I haven't set up an animation for the world map, so he kind of just T-poses on top of the Griffin. I will get that fixed before releasing it. And then, have I changed this? Yes. So instead of being, 4 or 6 or whatever melee defense it was for just his army, it is now for partially divided in 2 and affects all armies. And instead of just being Slaanesh units, it is Slaanesh and Undivided units. The reason why I did that is that Undivided are a little bit underrepresented for buffs with Sigvald's army, but Undivided units are units that just haven't decided to be Slaanesh yet. So you are kind of trying to get them to come over to your side, else they will devote themselves to another god. It's a bit unfortunate if they do that. You don't really want them to join up with another god. So we have lots of buffs for Undivided units. And, it makes sense. Again, over here, we have anything new for this one? No. But this will be important in a minute when we look at other lords. I think for changes next, we're going to look at his main tree. Over here, instead of having a melee defense just for his army and physical resistance just for his army, you actually get some benefits towards all your lords. And I think that's much better. Kind of sort of divided it in two and then split off a little bit of it for other lords. And he counts for all armies, so he actually gets the all armies bonus added. So it is 6 melee defense for his army and 2 for other armies. It's not just 4 and then he loses some or anything like that. Driven by Lust is, again, I've made it so that it actually affects your other armies instead of just being for Sigvald. Haven't we made any changes to the other 2? And then this is where the big changes happen. So we have, by accident, Determined Death Blow and Extremely Daring Death Blow. It really should just be Death Blow, but I seem to have mislabeled it and picked up one of the other Death Blow skills. So, for this one, which will become just a regular Death Blow, I'm really annoyed that he has to try it now. You've irritated Sigvald that, you've been a bit more of a threat. And then with the Extremely Daring Death Blow, he says, "How dare you spill my beauteous blood?" That's the kind of character he is. But you may notice here that you have the Roman phrase, I came, I saw, I conquered, but I've reordered them into I saw, I conquered, I came, just for a bit of a joke. So straight away we have targeting range for the Dark Prince's Executioner. This is a mirror of what the Jade Dragon gets, and extra ability uses for it. And I conquered and I came are all basically, again, mirrors of what the Jade Dragon gets, but I've renamed them, and hopefully the graphical effect will be changed to be purple rather than green in the final version, although sometimes the game doesn't like it when you change what color it is. It's not exactly fantastic about that. So I'm not using it. It is an interesting skill, I feel, where there is a benefit for spells for his army, but of course Sigvald himself is not a spellcaster. I haven't changed that. So in my opinion, Slaanesh does now play as a faction with some reasonable magic, and it doesn't make sense for Sigvald when he was released in Warhammer 1 to have a load of extra magic stuff. But now that we have the faction in Warhammer 3, I think it makes a lot more sense, but I didn't want to turn him into a spellcaster. So you just add a spellcaster to his army, and the game even starts you off with one right nearby to make use of that. Not one to use something he would have to practice at. Nonetheless, Slaanesh has showered those around him with extra magical power, a gift for the favoured son, even if not directly. And I just like the name, I'm not using it, because he wouldn't bother. Then we have Spored Rotten. Never one to allow anyone to say no to him. Everyone makes a concerted effort to go where he wants, to go and do what he wants to do. Campaign movement range plus 10% when in enemy territory. So once you're out there attacking people, which you probably should be with Chaos, you have extra movement to just move around in other people's terrain, because it's quite unfortunate when the AI just use March stance to run away from you anyway, and this just makes things a little bit more fun. Everyone's worse. So, everyone is worse than me, less loved than me, less deserving than I, and I will show you it is so. So this is an interesting ability. So, when you are near enemy lords and heroes, it is a challenge to them. And he concentrates more about people who might be taking the spotlight from him on the enemy side. So they lose 10 melee defense, 10 damage resistance, and it can only ever target one at a time. So it's most likely to be the person that's nearest to you. It's got a 30-meter range, so it is helpful even if you're not standing on top of them, but it's not across the entire map. So I think that's it for here. We will select another lord. Thankfully, this other mod starts you off with one. Oh no, it's the wrong type. We'll get back to that in a second. So let's bring him into a battle quickly with the extra unit.
Chaos. Green magic for chaos.
And we'll have a little look. Because I think there's a lord in here.
Who are these grotesque?
Yep, there he is. We'll head on over. Force a habit to save, even though this is just a demonstration. So I'm not sure how much of the footage of this battle I'll keep. But if there's anything interesting happen, I will, I guess, pause. Okay, so here we go, right away. You can see the worst of the worst. Reduction to enemies is right here. We have the death blows, of which I will change one of them. But the other ability we need to be looking at, of course, is the Dark Prince's Executioner. So it is a complete mirror of the Jade Dragon's ability. Execute combatants below 33% hit points. You get all the cool markers for it. And because I've given him all the upgrades, there is, at level 1, just for demonstration purposes, there is a lot of uses on it. There's a lot of damage, and it's, you know, it's a little bit too much for level 1 gameplay.
For chaos! Open their veins! Let us bring about an infernal gateway. Concealed enemy unit! Destroy!
There's the Lord. Let's go get him.
Deliver slaughter!
We came through the unit quite successfully, which was obviously very nice for us. I'm keeping this sort of distance rather than zooming in close, just so we can see the extra graphics for when the Lord is in Dark Prince's Executioner's range.
Kill the Southerners!
And there we go. It's looking very close. Get this marker to say that they're almost in range. I believe this one is. And then the red or orange
That's what the
shows us it's time. I'm hoping to turn that purple. This little graphic here. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, but sometimes the game just doesn't like it when you do that. So I've tried to keep this demonstration short and sweet, just for video editing purposes and to not bore you. But there you go, there is a nice quick look at Sigvald Simply Superior. Next video coming soon.